Here's my recipe book, which is printed so the text is big enough to be sitting on the counter and I can read it standing up. Now that's important because recipes, very hard to follow when they're squinty little print and you're running around trying to figure out what's on the page. Now here I've got my utensils lined up. Measuring spoons, measuring cups, scrapers, dish scrapers so that I can get inside the bowl, inside the cans, my can opener, beater, containers that I'm going to put product into at the end, and over here the ingredients. And this recipe is a coconut milk chia mousse. It's the easiest, fastest, most delicious recipe, I think, in the book. It's the chia seeds give this a creamy texture, which is just drop dead amazing. So I'm going to use, as a sweetener, I'm going to use actually the sweetener that we make out of erythritol and stevia. And this is 4 times the strength of sugar or twice the strength of Truvia, right? Electrolyte salt, which is balanced. Magnesium, sodium, potassium. That is, electrolyte balance is critically important when you're in ketosis. It's the reason people feel listless. Cocoa, caramel, vanilla, chia seeds, $2.50 a pound at good health food stores, about $12 a pound at Whole Foods, right? And then coconut milk. In this case, I'm using coconut cream that I'll bring around. And this is Chia Swan. And the reason coconut cream is I'm looking for calories. And this stuff here is 170 calories per serving, and there are 5 servings in a container. So, let's get started. 2 tablespoons. Well, I'm going to make this sweeter. The recipe really calls for 1 tablespoon of 4 times strength, or 2 tablespoons of Truvia. I'm going to put in 1 3/4, just because I have a sweet tooth today. Salt. Why salt? Because it punches up the sweetness in anything. It puts an edge on it. If you've ever cooked oats, you'll know that if you cook oats and you don't put a pinch of salt in, they taste terrible. I'm going to use a tablespoon of cocoa for each cup, each can of coconut milk. I'm going to use a teaspoon of caramel, then I'm going to use a teaspoon of vanilla, and I'm moving to get this done, right? Because I want you to see just how fast this whole process is. Now, when it comes to the chia seeds, I'm going to use half a cup of chia seeds, right? And in my dollar store I got all the cups and the teaspoons for $1, right? So, and why chia? About 40% of this is fiber. When you're going through basic training and you want to get your fiber intake up and you want to do it delicious, right? This is the recipe. And now we put the wet ingredients in last, because Tigger discovered that if he did that, he could make huge quantities of this stuff and he wouldn't get clouds of cocoa and all that sort of thing happening. So, the other thing is that whether you use coconut milk or coconut cream, in our other mousse recipes, which have cream in them and don't have chia seeds are going to soak up a lot of the moisture. All of the extra water that's in the coconut cream or milk is going to be picked up by the chia seeds, and you have to leave them to sit for 4 or 5 hours, and then you've got yourself something really delicious. That's why I use a scraper, right? I'm cheap. I don't like throwing food in the garbage. Okay? I even scrape off the lid. There's all those wonderful calories. Yep. And into the can. Like I say, you have to watch to make sure that you don't put the scraper in there and squirt water all over the place, right? We have a certain star in our cooking team who has done all sorts of things like that. And one day we're going to have a bloopers reel. And he's really funny. So, now I grab my next utensil, and you notice I don't have to run around the kitchen. So that's it. It's a little bit liquid now, but as soon as we put it in containers and let it sit for a little while, you'll find that it thickens up very nicely. If you want, you can leave it on the counter for 10 minutes. It will thicken up a bit and you can whip it again. Why chia seeds? Look them up under superfood on the internet. Chia seeds are one of the richest sources of omega-3s. You know, everybody says, oh, you got to eat salmon, you got to eat this, that, and the other. $2.50 a pound, and it's got about 5 times as much omega-3s in it as salmon, right? So, absolutely the way to go. Yep. And it's loaded with protein as well, so that's why I don't bother to put protein powder in here, because it's a complete food. Protein, 40% fiber, massive fiber hit. It will get you back on track, and with the electrolyte salts, it's a perfect food for basic training. As a snack food, eat it for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So, I'm done.